Hello everyone, Bridget Casey for Not Too Shabby today. You can see a sneak peek of the card we're going to make. We are using the Valentine Gnomes from the I Heart You January 2022 box of the month, which is always available on the first of the month. You can either do auto ship or purchase individually, but keep in mind they do sell fast. So I've gone ahead and I have stamped out my little gnomes, which are so super cute. Can't get over the cuteness. And I have stamped them in an alcohol marker safe ink. And now I'm going ahead and coloring them in with my Copics. So I started with R37. I'm onto R35 and then R32. So I tried to put my Copic caps down, but I hold them in a vice grip in my hand. As you saw previously, it's just comfortable when I color. It's the way I've always done it. So here's R59, R37. My previous combo was not looking as dark, so I added the R57 to the mix so it would make it nice and dark. I wanted a really dark, luscious tone. So here I'm holding onto the cap like a vice grip, but it is C8 that I'm starting with for my gnome's hair and his little beard. So, I can't get over gnomes. And of course, I have the traditional cup of coffee that is needed when coloring gnomes. I'm sure many can relate to needing caffeine, so hopefully you forgive me the coffee that I am bringing into the photo. So I had C8, C6, C4, and now I'm just ever so lightly going in with C2 to make sure it's kind of blended out. I am not Copic certified by any stretch of the imagination. I just color so it looks good to me. So there's E43, E42, and I will finish off the set with E41 for their little skin tone color. And here the hats, I'm going to go back and forth just as a warning with my coloring. I started with B99, which I love. This color combo for the B markers is actually one of my favorites, which I love to do. So I'm going through where I believe the darkest parts would be. And I urge you, if you're not Copic certified or have lots of experience with alcohol markers of any kind, just color. Color what looks good to you. That's what matters. I'm not looking for light sources or anything like that. I switched up to B97 here. I'm just coloring what looks good to me, and that makes me happy. And I want you guys to use your supplies and enjoy your crafting. So that's absolutely most important to me. So here I'm coming in with B95 and filling in the gaps. You will notice as time goes on, I like to color from darkest to lightest. I'm finishing up with my B93, which is my lightest here. And a lot of folks go back and forth. It's just basically the way I learned watching particular artists on YouTube was to color darkest to lightest. A lot of people say starting out, or if you're not that great with these markers, you should do lightest to darkest because you can not take dark color away. Like it would be hard to get that B99 to go away. If not impossible. I'm sure a Copic, somebody really good with Copics could, but I could not. So that advice is good advice. But I always watched folks that started darkest to lightest. So I am going back in with my darkest and titrating back down to my lightest again, just to get the color that I wanted. The first pass through, I didn't get the color combination I wanted, so just went back through with my markers. So for her little dress, I want it to coordinate, of course, with her hat. So I'm starting with a B95, then B93. I didn't want it to be as dark as her hat, but I still want it to be blue. And then B91 will be the final one. You don't need to use 3 markers for her dress. I just happen to generally do things in 3s. So I chose a circle from my stash, which the circle is about 2.5 inches. Now I'm choosing a piece of pattern paper, and I loved, loved, loved this gray and white gingham. So I'm making sure that that's big enough so it can be seen behind my gnomes. And then I'm going to put that onto the pattern paper from the Me and You patterned paper pack. That is always a mouthful when I say it. And then it's die cut. I'm going to put my gnomes on there. And then I also wanted to use that piece as my card front panel. And I'm going to trim a piece of the red from the Bokeh Love down. So I'm going to go ahead and put foam tape, didn't make you watch that, on the back because I cover it. And then make sure that my gingham is straight up and down. And I put my gnomes down. Then I have a piece of the 2-inch red cardstock from the Bokeh Love, which is just beautiful. And so there's my layout. I've got that center strip glued down, and it fit perfectly. I did not check this before. It fit perfectly the There's Gnome Buddy Like You, which I adhered with VersaFine Nocturne ink. And I'm going to go ahead and lay my gnomes down. And there's my card. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me today. And I hope that you will try a card with the I Heart You January 2022 Box of the Month. Until next time, stay safe and happy crafting.